I've been homeless. I bathed in a church bathroom. Won 19 Grammys. Had a career that was beyond my imagination. I've survived death several times, endured public shame. But nothing could prepare me for what God had in store for me in 2023.
So I watched this documentary at work. Why did I do that? I don't know. Because honestly, it damn near had me in tears standing there trying to deal with the emotional fallout and trauma of this documentary. If you haven't seen it, especially if you're a man, and especially if you've had to deal with anything close to the absence of a father in your life, I highly suggest that you go ahead and check this documentary out. You can find it right on his page, right on Kirk Franklin's page. It's called Father's Day, a Kirk Franklin Story, and it's only about 35 minutes long, but it was worth every minute, honestly. And Kirk Franklin is somebody who, if you don't know who Kirk Franklin is, he's a Grammy award-winning artist, gospel artist that has been well known in the gospel industry and in the music industry for several decades. He is a man who has, as you heard, he said he had to deal with public scrutiny. He said that he had a porn addiction before. He has just had to deal with a lot, right? And he's been through a lot. I'm pretty sure there were, all these types of gay allegations going on. And it's just interesting. I found it very interesting to watch his story and to find out, because I did not know that he was adopted, right? I did not know that Kirk Franklin was adopted. And so when you find that out and then you are watching this story unfold on camera, you're just sitting there and you're kind of stuck in the moment. You're kind of frozen in the moment. Especially, like I said, if you've come from a place in your life or position in your life where you've had to deal with anything close to what he has had to deal with, or just the absence of a father, period, I think you can relate to this particular documentary. Now, he was in the process of recording an album, right? His latest album, which I think drops later on this week. And while he was in the process of recording, someone ended up passing on his, I believe it was his mom's side. Don't quote me. I believe it was his mother's side. Someone ended up passing. And, people came to the funeral, and there was a guy there at this funeral. And people noticed him and say, you kind of look like, you kind of resemble. Because what happened was, people get to talking at this funeral, right? People get to conversing, and this guy that's there to pay his respects says, yeah, I had a relationship with Deborah for a short period, back then, years and years ago. Deborah is Kirk Franklin's mother. And, he says, I had a relationship with her. And so people start putting 2 and 3 together. And they say, you kind of got some resemblance, some features, some of the features you have resemble Deborah's son. So anyway, to make a long story short, I'm not going to drag this out because I want to get to the point of this. To make a long story short, he finds out that the man that he thought was his father, that he thought that he had buried, was not his father. Now, Kirk Franklin is 53 years old. Okay, 53 years old, which I hope that I look as good as he does at 53. He looks great for a 53-year-old man. But so he's 53 years old. So he has gone through 50 years, half a century, right, of his life thinking that someone else was his father, only to come to find out that the entire time his mother had been lying to him, lying to his face, and that was not his father. He ends up getting a DNA test. The guy that showed up at the funeral ends up submitting it. He says, listen, hey, I don't know what he will do with this. I don't know what he, because the guy ends up submitting the DNA through someone that Kirk Franklin knows. He didn't speak to him directly, right? But he said, hey, listen, I'm willing to go ahead and see if I'm the father. I don't think that I am. To his knowledge, he didn't have a kid out here, right? But he was still willing. He's like, look, I don't think that I am because nobody has told me anything. But I'll submit my DNA and then he can do with that what he will. Well, he ends up submitting his DNA and it comes back that he is 99.5% his father. That's his daddy. That's his dad, right? And so I'm not going to, hopefully, I don't know if they're going to copyright strike this. I hope they don't, but we'll see. But I want to get to the point to where Kirk Franklin eventually confronts his biological father after finding that out. They both break down into tears. It's a very emotional moment. But then Kirk Franklin has to do the hard thing, right? He's got to do the difficult thing and confront his mother with this information. And I just want you to watch her reaction. And then I'm going to say what I have to say. He confronts his mother with documentation because they go a second time to get a DNA test, a second DNA test. And the second DNA test comes back and says the same exact thing. That is your father. So he takes that information, he gathers it, packages it all up, puts it inside of an envelope, and he trudges over to his mother's house. His mom, who he doesn't have a great relationship with in the first place, right? The relationship is already on the rocks. She gave him up years ago. And, you know, their relationship has already been a little pretty much tumultuous over the years. So a relationship that is already on the rocks, he confronts her with this finding. And I want you to watch what she does because it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
When I was homeless and hungry and begging for food and at the pawn shop, pawning Gertrude's lawnmower just to get some food. Taking Carrie on down to the child support office by myself. I'm behind on my child support and he's got to go with me because I ain't got no babysitter. My car's been repoed off the church parking lot. That's my story.
This I cannot accept because this is not true. And I apologize from the bottom of my heart on this.
Two tests that I put in front of you. I need to hear you. I need to hear you clearly. The little Kirk, the little boy Kirk needs to hear you. Are you saying that you reject the results of these two tests? That's what I need to hear.
Yes. My denial, is that going to put a wedge between you and I?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. If you can't give me this, no hug, no word of encouragement, no sugar, no joke, nothing can substitute what I deserve and what I've needed and what I've missed.
You just want the truth.
That's the auntie,
DNA.
I believe, right there. Sister.
The DNA. Yes.
I need my mama to give me.
And I need my son too.
If my mama watches this, I want her to know.
Let's pause it right there. You know, one of the things that some women will do, because women are naturally manipulative. You can argue with me all you want to. You can get mad, but it's a fact. It's the truth. Women are naturally manipulators. Read your Bible. If you go back to the Bible, it tells you that. It tells you that from day one, out the womb, women, from the rib, women are naturally manipulative, okay? And they will use that to get what they want. They will use that to sway your decisions. They will use that to avoid and evade accountability. And that is exactly what is happening here. Why the fuck is she crying? What is she crying about? What is she crying about? Victim mentality. Victim mentality is crazy. but it's very real. You have been lying to your son for 53 years. Lying to his face, and then when he confronts you directly about the lie, you burst out into tears to garner sympathy, as if you are the victim. This is what women will do. This is what women will do. They will play on their emotions. They will use the sympathy card. And they will pull out every tear that they have in their body when they have been brought to the table of accountability. Let's finish watching.
I can't have you.
That I have lost so much not having you. And it would have been really, really, really nice to get that from you. The old adage, hurt people hurt people. So.
All right. Now you see her walking away. Basically, she said, fuck it. I'm out of here. And she didn't give him the one thing that he asked for. She could not give him the one thing that she could not bring herself to the table of accountability, because her feelings and emotions were more important than her son finding out the truth. And this is my point. Please be mindful of who it is that you get with men. Please be mindful of who it is that you get with men. Please be mindful of who it is that you lay down, who it is that you make a connection with, who it is that you bring into your life. Because women will absolutely burn the earth around them. They will go scorched earth to evade and avoid any accountability. They will put it all on the line. They will walk away from their own blood-related son. She walked away from a relationship because after this, it says that they have not spoken since this documentary. Since that scene right there, with them being in that room together and she lied to his face. They have not spoken since. So she was willing to throw away the already tumultuous relationship that she had with her son. She was willing to throw away any type of future building with or reconnecting with her son in order to hold on to the lie. In order to escape and evade accountability. In order to not have to face what it is that she has done to this man for 53 years. She went scorched earth. Burn it all. Burn it all to the ground around me. I don't care. Whatever is the result doesn't matter. As long as I don't have to face this. Burn it all to the ground. I'm telling you, this documentary was very difficult to watch. Very difficult to watch. Even if you have not had this particular situation, as a man, it was very difficult to watch. Because I know that there are tons of men who, listen, I don't know any great fathers. I would consider none of my friends and close family that I've had connected to me, I've considered none of their fathers as great men or great men of character or great fathers, great dads. I don't know anyone that has had a great father, someone that I would deem as a great father. Now, my friends and my family, my brothers, they are now great fathers. They are now turning the tide, right? They are now making up for what it was that I believe that they did not have, or that their fathers weren't. In my opinion, my friends and my family, my close friends and family, are 10 times what their father was to their children. 10 times that. So like I said, even if you weren't necessarily adopted, maybe you did not go through a situation where your family was an absentee father. This is still a very, very emotional documentary to watch. Okay, get your hankies ready. Get your handkerchiefs ready. All right. This was an emotional documentary, but very, very well done. Very well done. But listen, my point is that women will do anything to escape accountability. Scorched earth, burn it all to the ground. Be very careful, gentlemen. Be very careful. Naturally manipulative. Be very careful.
Whirlwind, my life's been a whirlwind ever since I let go of foundations. I've been watching the world end. Tell me, is there anybody coming in the name of a savior? The mind is a beautiful tool we can use when the world needs shaping. There when the pain need facing, going when these hoes need caping. Stood 10 toes, now the woes is awoke and the caves is adjacent. Contemplating doing these drugs, it's a friction of life got me chafing.